Hello, and welcome to my armchair lecture series from my living room slash dining room. I've created a nice little lighting environment so I could sit here and have really great lighting. So, what we're going to do today is I am going to do the following. I'm going to read you a review of the AP exam essays and their grades and why they gave them the grade. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to pivot after that. So we have three different essays, and then your job is to identify which essay gets which grade and why. So you need to have read the essays, which I have a link for you all. So you already have that hyperlinked. You need to have read the essays and determined exactly why they got the score that they did. Remember that this is out of 9 points, even though our grading scale is out of 6 points. But think about what the 9-point scale actually means, because everybody already has a rubric for the 9-point scale and why they're giving that grade. Does that sound good to everybody? Then after that, I'm going to record another one about Zora Neale Hurston and her essay, How It Feels to Be Colored Me, which is what we're going to be doing as our warm-up tomorrow on the 27th. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and read the first essay. All right, so the first essay review. Written with panache, this response offers both a sophisticated argument and an impressive control of language. It demonstrates what good writing students can produce when they feel empowered to use their own voice. Panache. After briefly and successfully paraphrasing Lear's speech, the student begins by telling us about his own experiences and those of his brother as soccer players. As the personal anecdotes work to demonstrate this point, the writer is the personal anecdotes work to demonstrate his point. The writer is aware of his audience, admitting that these are not the same terms as those of King Lear before explaining to us that the same principle applies. The student's next paragraph takes us to the omnipresent O.J. Simpson case. Remember, it's 2000. Even as this audience-aware student apologizes for citing this famous trial, he makes the overused example work. When the student moves on to discuss Bill Gates, he offers important qualifications that help qualify his own stance. The student's vigorous language strengthens each sample, and in its conclusion, the student expands the scope of the prompt and his thesis by suggesting that there is a greater arena for justice and that money and power privilege guarantee nothing in terms of happiness or joy. This unexpected move on the part of the writer is risky. He barely escapes the money can't buy me love cliche, but he successfully evades this trap by telling us that he lives his life knowing that things have a way of evening out. By balancing the high-flown rhetoric of the first claim with the colloquial understatement of the second, the student successfully avoids sounding mawkish and offers an important qualification of King Lear's view of justice. The energetic writing demonstrates a commanding vocabulary without sounding officious or pretentious. The writer's playfulness, equating Microsoft with Juggernaut sick, and suggesting that the lance of the Justice Department may be splintered by the metal doors of the Microsoft compound, makes his argument entertaining and lively as well. In addition, the essay has the added appeal of seeming to be shaped by its own content and not by any Procrustean design. Sample 0. So obviously what's going to happen is I'm going to erase the sample numbers on the essays. Although it is more than competent in its development, this essay is not particularly adept at its use of language. The essay begins well, even though its paraphrase is less complexly stated than that of the essays, earning higher scores. Mustering exemplification from Les Mis, the Watergate scandal, and the O.J. Simpson trial, the student clearly knows how to marshal support for an argument. This extensive use of proof is sufficient to move the essay up to a 7, even though the student pays too little attention to how her examples connect. Workmanlike in its structure, the ubiquitous 3-stem thesis in 5-paragraph format, this essay has a formulaic feel that does little to enhance its overall effectiveness, but its content is cogent enough to provide the essay with especially purposeful argumentation. Sample XX. This essay clearly fits the description of an 8. It offers a solid understanding of Lear's speech and proffers its own position with considerable historical context. Certainly, the student's strong point is his use of substantial exemplification to support his claims. He offers us George Washington's mercenaries, Sir Thomas More, and Saddam Hussein in his 2nd paragraph, bribery in the Roman Senate in his 3rd, and the theories of social Darwinism and Horatio Alger in his 4th. In each of these instances, the student makes his point economically and moves on. Efficiency, kids. In each of these instances, Okay, economically, and moves on. Perhaps some deeper development of these examples would have made the essay more stronger than it is, but the examples are apt even when they are not fully explained, and they provide more than ample support for the student's claims. The student's language demonstrates control of a wide range of elements of effective writing. While his vocab and style are less impressive than that of samples TC, his use of quotations from 1984 at the beginning and conclusion of the essay serves him well, and the writing and essay have a nice sense of balance in both their sentences and form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all a hyperlink to the essays without the reviews, or rather without the letters, and then you have to decide which one gets which and what you would give them on the 6-point scale. So given that they've got a 6-point scale, what would you give them? Okay, sound good? Thank you.